I can see myself there. And it says, receiving your content. Get ready. What Wi-Fi am I on? It says I should be on the right one. I don't get it. It says it's doing it, but I don't see any confirmation that this is actually working. There's no one here to tell me if it is working. But it just says it's starting. It's just in the starting phase. Come on. Okay. Says I'm live now. Okay. Fingers crossed. This is actually working this time. There's been some weirdness going on here. I apologize. Let me send this out again. Okay. For real this time. I think it's now working. Post to Facebook. March live stream. For real this time. Tweet. Okay. I'm totally live. Hello, nobody that's watching currently. Oh, one person has pushed on the play button. We are now live. I am sorry for all the weirdness and confusion. YouTube is not playing nice with me here today. Hopefully, I am finding you in a comfortable spot, in a great spot, and you are willing to, join in the conversation, so to speak. Where do we want to start here today? There's a few different things that I wanted to try out. Some of them you're going to hate. Some of them I do it because I like doing them. First off, let me talk to you a little bit about the trip that I just went on. If you weren't aware, I took a trip over to Boston and then I took a train down to New York City. I was in Boston for this convention called NerdCon, Nerdfighteria. And just in the chance that no one knows exactly what that means, Nerd Fighters, and henceforth Nerdfighteria, is this community that surrounds the Vlog Brothers, both John and Hank Green, who've been making videos for just over 10 years now at this point. And they wanted to do this big celebration, to celebrate not only their videos, but the community, the fact that they do, not only this convention, but they do VidCon, they write books, they make songs, they, what else? They do the Project for Awesome each year for charity. They do all this great stuff, and they wanted to celebrate it. I'm just going to move my camera here just so it can pick me up just a little bit better. And so I have been watching their videos for just over 9 years now at this point. And I felt there needs to be some way to celebrate this, or they thought there needed to be some way to celebrate this. So I went down there for 2 days and did that thing. I know, I mentioned it in the video I posted on Thursday, but there is something I really have been thinking about a lot. And it's this idea of saying that we're inclusive, but not actually being inclusive. And I don't know if you entirely understand where I'm coming from with that. Welcome, by the way, the other people that have joined into this live stream. And it's this idea that there's this panel that I went to where things got real, things got very, I don't know what's the right word is, emotional. They got very emotional in the room where there was a sign language interpreter during this panel, and she actually broke down crying when she was mentioning her own struggle, because there is definitely in the presentation and the advertising that this is a friendly space, this is a safe space, this is anyone can come here and get value out of this. We have sign language interpreters available, but really the reality of those people when they come is maybe not the best. The intention might be great, but the execution is not. And I guess that's what I want to talk about if you have seen this in your real life before. And I notice this a lot of the time where companies or events or even specific people say, like, we're open, like we accept everyone, except not really. Like, we say that we accept everyone, but are we really making the attempt to accept everyone? So the two examples I'm just going to provide. Number one, there were apparently, now I did not see this myself, so I have to state that out. It's not, I don't disbelieve what people said. I just said I did not see it myself, of people taking off or removing the reserved for wheelchair access signs off of the front rows of the chairs in the not the stadium, but in the auditorium. There were people that were taking off signs for the gender neutral bathrooms, and it just seems so weird to be a part of a community that I know is very welcoming, that I see people from all shapes and sizes, colors and creeds, and yet it doesn't seem like that is the case for everybody. I don't know if I'm making any sense here right now, but has anyone ever noticed? I'm going to throw it to you. Let me know in the comments. Tell me a time where you've seen this idea of, like, we are open, we are accepting of people, but that actually not being the case. And I find that to be a bit more insidious, where the people who are putting it on know that the right thing to do is to be open, but that's not exactly what happens in reality. So that kind of bummed me out during that panel, because I live in this little bubble as I go along. Like, everything is so nice and cool, and people are so happy to be here. But then to be confronted with that and be like, you know what? There's this stuff over here that's not all that great. People stepping on service dogs, people not just being respectful of other human beings in their immediate surroundings. I find that kind of disappointing overall. Now, I am very confident that these issues should be rectified or will be rectified if presented in the right way. There's a survey that comes out every single time, every year, so I'm sure it'll happen that this can get better, and I hope that it gets better. This is me rambling a lot. I feel like I didn't really enunciate that very, very well, but thank you for people who are joining. I can see people coming and leaving, so I don't know if it's like regular viewers or not, or bad connection of the stream. Who knows? We'll get back to some of the comments that are being left here in a moment. Before we get to there, new segment for these live shows. I've been and it's answering questions, but not your questions necessarily. Although if you have questions, leave them in the comments and I can go through them. I've been I've been getting into the McElroy brothers a lot here recently. So if you don't know about My Brother and Me, that has now just become a TV show. I'm going to say in quotes because it's on the CISO channel that's only available online. But they do this podcast that I'm a big fan of. They answer questions from Yahoo. I am going to answer questions from IMDb, which these I believe are going to be being removed. I think I read a story how they're taking away user comments here fairly shortly, which is probably not a bad idea, to be honest. My favorite film, or usually my go-to answer when people ask me, what is your favorite film of all time? And my go-to is usually Jaws. I think this has a whole lot of things going for it. Yes, it's ostensibly a horror film, but I think there's a lot of craft that's in there. But you know what? Even though it was nominated for Best Picture, it's considered a classic of its genre. It is a great character study. People have some questions about this classic movie from 1975. And I'm hoping that I can answer some of those questions. So these are real questions left on the IMDb page. I keep saying that wrong. IMDb page, the Internet Movie Database. And so here's some questions that are left on this. How does the movie end? That's the question that someone has left here. How does the movie end? Jaws, the 1975 classic about a shark attacking a boat. How does this movie end? Well, I mean, if you are averse to spoilers, then I would stuff some cotton in your ears here right now, because I don't want to tell tales out of school. But it turns out that Quint, the shark the whole time. It's crazy. It's a Shyamalan type ending. And that is why I love that movie so much. Other questions that have been left. I just sighed here a moment ago. Oh, is it plausible? Is it plausible that the shark would be able to jump onto the boat in the final scene? I mean, was it possible in the movie, in the magic that was created by Steven J. Spielberg? Then absolutely. There's no question that within the confines of that movie, that the fiction supports the ability of a shark being able to jump out of the water onto the boat. In reality, again, not to burst your bubble, sharks can only jump down. There's no way for them to actually gain elevation. Not many people know that. Oh, great. This is another question, actual real question on the IMDb page. Any recommendations for other movies about shark attacks? I mean, Jaws itself had 29 other sequels. One of them, which is good. All the other ones have pretty much been destroyed as per the settlement that Steven J. Spielberg forced upon the entertainment community. So that's unfortunate for them. And, I mean, to actually answer this question, how many other shark movies? I mean, there's like Megalodon and all those really terrible movies and Sharknado and all those terrible movies from the last few years. But yeah, sure. There's tons of shark movies. Just watch any of the sequels that Jaws made. Like I said, only one of them is good. And not really all that good, to be honest. Oh. Let's go back to the comments section. I'm losing viewers by the second. So, William, thank you for watching. The Women's March was not very intersectional in most of its larger representation. Like most of the imagery left out of the trans community and women without vaginas, for example. So that's, yeah, I think that's a good example for what I guess I'm trying to say, which is where this is actually really specific, for lack of a better word. This actually calls to mind, I'm glad you brought this up, William, specifically about feminism, which is, there's been a lot of pushback, I know, in recent years, because when we talk about feminism as a topic, what we're normally actually talking about is white women. We're not really talking about the full breadth of the experience from other nationalities, from other socioeconomic realities. This is like white middle class to upper middle class women when we talk about feminism in quotes. So yeah, it's I love the attempt at being open and accepting people into different areas, but sometimes it just doesn't work. Okay, so we're gonna do this thing that I like to do, but I can tell that most of the people watching don't really like it all that much. That's fine, because this is for me mostly. We're gonna play some Mind Trap, everyone. Everyone's favorite game to hate on. Here's a little brochure that I can hold up for your viewing pleasure. Mind Trap is this game that just causes people to be frustrated, mostly. What they are, if you've never seen this before, is that these are questions, sometimes really long, detailed questions. And they are normally just things that are intentionally vague or are not very obvious, or so obvious that you think that there's a game being played with you. So we're gonna delve into this. Probably just do a couple of questions this time and go through it from there. So I just picked this one at random. This is the question. Candy bar. So we'll start there. How bogus this question is going to be. Candy bar, that's a person, has 5 bags of sweets to give to her nieces. 4 of the bags have a total of 84 sweets. The 5th contains 4 sweets less than the average of the 5 bags. So how many sweets are in the 5th bag? So I chose the math question here, first of all. And because I just don't care that much, let's just read the answer, and then I'll get a better one to take a look at. Yeah, okay, we'll take that one next. So, The answer to this very complicated question from Candy Bar here is that there is 16 in that fifth bag. Since 4 of the bags averaged 21 sweets, we know that the fifth bag has to contain at least 4 less, or approximately 17. If we were to total the contents of the 5 bags based on the fifth containing 17, we would have a total of 101. The only way the equation works is if the grand total equals 100. 100 divided by 5 equals 20, the average of all 5, and 20 minus 4 equals 16. Don't you want to go and kill yourself? Okay, here's a real question, and then we'll talk about some other stuff. So this is the question. The tallow, that's T-A-L-L-O-W, obtained by burning 10 candles will yield 1 extra candle. If you burned 1,000 candles, how many extra candles could you make? So let me read that again. The tallow obtained by burning 10 candles will yield 1 extra candle. If you burned 1,000 candles, how many extra candles could you make? Well, don't we feel special? I mean, the obvious thing here is to divide by 10, but that's probably not what the actual answer is, so it's probably not 100. It's probably like 99 or something weird like that because of reasons. Or it's going to be an answer like, well, actually, you need a wick to put into the candle, so the real answer is 0. It's gonna be stupid. Okay, let's move on to some other things. Like I said, if there are questions you have, leave them down in the comments below, and I'll go through them, and we can have a conversation, an actual back and forth. Thank you, William. I like William's answer, by the way, that he's written down here, which is just 1 really big candle, which is why not. So I spent some time in New York City here this week. And for me, I've always considered New York City to be my favorite city to go and visit. It's not a place that I can ever envision myself living in, mostly because I don't have the money. And but secondly, I think it's New York is like family in that I like to go and visit for a few days, but then after a while, you need to go home. That's how I kind of term it, which is like I love experiencing the culture that's there and going to the museums, going on the subway, being able to travel really fast back and forth, having really, really great meals. But there is almost too much going on all at the same time that you can very quickly feel overwhelmed by a bunch of different things. What did I do this time, though? There's a few things I do want to call out. I had the chance to go to the Guggenheim Museum. And the Guggenheim, the last time, actually I think it was 2 times ago, this was my 5th time going to New York City. First 2 times I was there for like a day and a half each time. I tried to put in as much stuff as I could possibly within like 36 hours. And then the 3rd time I went, I was there for like 3-4 days. And the last time I went, I think I was only there for 3 or 4 days. And I've tried to experience a different places all the time. But the last time I went, or the 2 times ago I went, I tried to go to the Guggenheim Museum, but it was under construction. So I wasn't able to actually go inside of it, which was a bummer. And this time I was able to go in. And I don't know how much people out there watching really like art or paintings or anything like that, but they have quite the extensive Picasso paintings, which is great. I'm a big fan of Picasso's work, his entire breadth of work, not just one particular period. So it was nice being able to like take the time to really observe those and take them in. The Guggenheim, because it's kind of a modern art museum, is really pushing. William White hates art. Which is a shirt I'm actually going to make up and wear it around, and only 3 people understand what it means. But it's just it's not something I do a whole lot, like go and just look at paintings on the wall. It's not something that I put into my daily life. But I enjoyed it. The Guggenheim, like I was saying, is a lot of modern art and experimental and stuff like that. So it's that was fun. The second big thing I do, because I'm a big Broadway nerd, is I always have to go and see a show of some kind. It's just that tickets are so ridiculously expensive. Now, I do go to this place called TKTS, the tickets booth, where you can day of or sometimes the next day tickets for like 50 or 60% off, which is great. And I was able this time. I had a few listed that I really wanted to try and see. And nothing in my top 3 was available for me to buy. But I was able to go and see Sunset Boulevard. This is a show that has music and lyrics by Andrew Lloyd Webber, who is probably more well known for some of his bigger things like Phantom of the Opera, Jesus Christ Superstar, Josephine the Technicolor Dreamcoat, Cats, those types of ones. Andrew Lloyd Webber, is this. I always use the analogy of Michael Bay, and I know that's a really weird example for for musicals, but he's full of bombast and spectacle. I'm not usually the hugest fan of his lyrics. I shouldn't say that. A lot of his shows, I'm not the biggest fan of his lyrics. There's some that I'm a big fan of. His orchestrations are usually his strong point, though. He has a really good ear for the lyricality of how music goes, and this has a really large orchestra playing right now. It's this gigantic, I think they said 40-piece live orchestra that sounds phenomenal. Like, it was so good. This has Glenn Close starring in it, and Broadway loves its divas in that there are so many shows that are about like a central, really boisterous, strong woman, whether it's Mame or Gypsy or Hello Dolly, and there's countless other ones that you can rattle off there if you needed to. And she brings the house down. She is reprising her role because Sunset Boulevard started like 20 years ago, maybe 15 years ago, something like that. And she originated the role and went on for a few years. They're redoing that show again right now in New York for a very limited engagement. I think it's only going on for a couple months. And I'm so glad I got to go and see it because she is truly very, very good. Like crazy amount good. And yeah, so that was a special moment. It's not the best Broadway show. It's not the best written Broadway show, but there's a few standout musical numbers. The main actor, by the way, accidentally flashed me too, so I got to see a lot more for my ticket price than I was expecting as he was doing up his bathrobe in one scene. But you know, I'll take what I can get. So let's go back to this question from Mind Trap. Everyone's favorite game. I know it is. So the question was, the tallow obtained by burning 10 candles will yield 1 extra candle. If you burned 1,000 candles, how many extra candles could you make? Boom. So what did we answer here in the comments? We have 100 that has been offered by William. No one else put in any of their guesses. You fail. And here is the answer. And I told you you're going to hate this. So get ready, William, and just start typing in hate it and then push return after I read the answer. So the actual answer is 111. So you get 100 candles from the tallow of the original 1,000, plus 10 more from the tallow of the 100, plus 1 more from the tallow of the 10. So 111 is the official answer. Let's do one more, and then we'll finish up this live stream that I'm doing every month. A few more people have joined, so thank you for coming aboard. How'd you get here? How'd you find this? What do you want to talk about? Okay, so William apparently loves it. Here's the question. How would you rearrange the letters in the words new door to make one word? Note, there is only one correct answer. So apparently there has to be probably just a English word. So again, how would you rearrange the letters? Sorry, me and speaking. How would you rearrange the letters in the words new door to make one word? So NEWDOOR. Do you have to smush them and say new door is one word? I'm trying to see. Would that work? No. I thought drowned or something like that would work, but there's no D in there for that to work. All right. Write that out. Try and see if you can anagram that into something that is going to resemble a new English word. I'm assuming it's going to be an English word. But that mind trap, it comes back and bites you. Sometimes it's your least expected answer. And that's why everybody loves it. The next big thing is this is the crazy thing that's going on here right now for me, which is I spent some time thinking about like the videos I make and upload to YouTube, and I've never been the quality over quantity, as you would know if you watch any of the videos I make. I've always thought of it like Saturday Night Live. I think I've said this in a video before, but I'm very much of the opinion that, hey, it's Thursday, it's time to upload a video. It's Monday, it's time to upload a video. I'm not laboring and trying to make this the most amazing thing, and maybe to my inability to break through to a larger audience. But I've always just said, like, I'm putting out content, I'm just going to continue to put out content. And then, so I've actually been thinking of upping my weekly content to 3 videos a week. So I would still have my Thursday videos being my normal vlogging. My Monday videos would change. I'm going to stop doing the clog after week 52. I committed to do this for a year of like filming little snippets throughout the week and then uploading it. And instead, I want to do kind of a current events show. It would still be just using my phone. I still want to have something quick and easy, in quotes, where I would just set it up and talk to my phone or camera for a few minutes. But I kind of want to be able to talk about really current event things that are going on, whether it's politics, the movie I just watched, the book I just read, that doesn't sometimes as easily fit into my Thursday content. And then on Saturdays is then my third video I want to start doing, which is the ones I might take a little bit more time with. I've been very influenced recently by the Nerdwriter, who does these visual essays a whole lot. And I want to try my hand of starting to get in and doing some of that type of content, but also mini-series of that. So maybe, well, I know one, for instance, I want to do like a 3-part series about Planet of the Apes. So the original series, or the original film, the sequels that followed, and then the Tim Burton and the new films that have come out here in the last few years, and just talking about that in deeper depth that I just can't do again in my normal videos that I do. Anyways, I bring this all up because I have it all figured out until, I believe, mid-June. I know what every single video I'm making up until mid-June, which is kind of crazy, I think. And I can always change things on the fly if I need to, but it's giving me a purpose and a drive, so I know exactly what's going on. Pastime Channel says, I love the Nerdwriter, down in the comments. I do too, like I just said. In fact, I was just at NerdCon. If you didn't see me at the beginning of this live stream, I was at NerdCon, and I actually got to sit down and talk with them for an hour, which was really fun. It was really great. It was me, and there was 11 other people in this group that were selected to go and talk to a creator. And so the Nerdwriter was the person that we got to talk to, and he is a fascinating guy. Evan is this, he actually spends, he says, close to 40 to 60 hours per video during the research, looking up things, creating the content, doing the voiceover, music, all that good stuff. So he spends a lot of time, and I think you can really tell that he takes the time to make great content for his channel. I did ask him, though, because it's always burned in the back of my mind, all of these channels that do these visual essays, like, how do you actually get the video of the movie or the TV show or whatever that you're doing and talking about into your videos? Because no matter how you do that, you're breaking copyright. So it's like, do you ask permission? Like, do you do things? It's like, no, I just rip the content. And I was like, okay, well, that makes me feel easier, because that's what I always assumed was going on, but I wasn't for sure if that's exactly what was going on, if there was some other relationship that was going on. So, good to know. Anyways, expect all the videos I'm making up until mid-June. Oh my god. Okay, I just give your give a clap to Mr. William White in the comments, because yes, it says, how would you rearrange the letters in the word new door to make one word? So the answer is the letters should be rearranged as one word. So it's not actually a one word, it actually spells out one word. Can be anagrammed into new door. Oh, why do we play this stupid game? Well, don't we feel accomplished? Or at least we've wasted a half an hour of our Saturday. So I appreciate that, the people that have come. But I would like to ask, of the few people that have stuck around, I really would like to know, as we continue to do these, as I am committed to continuing to do these live streams once every month, what is it that you would like to see? What kind of games can we play? What kind of questions do you want me to bring here? What kind of topics do you want us to discuss? Because I'd like there to be a little bit more of back and forth instead of me just doing this almost 30-minute monologue every single time. Oh, look at this. William is admitting in the comments here that he cheated. So it wasn't me. My brother was watching over my shoulder and was like, oh, it's this. So William's brother is actually the smart one of the family, and William, I guess, is the pretty one. I don't actually know, but we'll assume that that's how it goes. But yeah, before I sign off here in like a minute or two, right now in the comments, let me know what it is that you would find engaging about live streams. Is there another live streamer out there that does fun things that I can go and take and steal things from to make it more engaging? Like I said, thank you so much for watching. There's a few different things that I should point out. I'm about, after this is done, if you are a Patreon subscriber of, I believe, $5 or more, I'm going to do a quick 15 extra minutes over there. So if you're a Patreon subscriber, that is a bonus that you get every month. You can also follow me on Twitter. I'm at the Kyle Marshall, which is my Twitter handle. I'm probably the most active on there of any social media, so that's probably the best way to hit me up. And what else? Stay safe. Make sure you wear your seatbelts. Don't eat too many carbs. Look both ways before you cross the street. Goldfish will grow to the size of whatever bowl you put them into. What other good advice can I give to you? Don't be a jerk. Remember to tip your waitress. Those are the tips that I'm going to leave you with here today. Hopefully you can take some of those into your real life going forward. All right, well, thank you, like I said, for watching. I'll be back again in April. April showers will hopefully then bring May flowers. I'm just speaking in idioms here at this point. And we will continue this conversation next month, when I'll probably be a little bit more prepared than having just flown back a couple days ago and being like, I should do a live stream today. All right, everyone, have a great day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.